With every breath, a promise to rise. Together we chase the limitless skies. Galvanize the world, feel the moment of life. Every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity. Galvanize the world, feel the light. With every healthy choice, it feels so right. Data in our hands, we hold the key. A future built on trust and integrity.
Galvanators, welcome to this week's Galvanators Unite Call. As you can see, we're in a little bit different location. Actually, here with the team, with the crew, we're at the blockade office doing some game planning and pretty excited about what's going to be happening here at Galvan. So thank you for tuning in today. As always, this is where you can get the information, be able to hear it first, and make sure that you and your community members are aware of what's going on in the Galvan community, because there's constant improvement and change. So as we get started on this call, I want you to be thinking, what is it in your life that if you could change, and if you had the ability to change, you would do it? What are those things that we have control over? Because there's so many things that we really do have that ability to make a difference. And every single one of us, especially us coming together, give us that more of a team approach where it's not just one person. I love that concept of you're kind of doing thing for yourself. You're doing something to benefit you, but you're not doing it by yourself. And that's the thing about a community and how we're working here is we're all building some things for ourselves, whether it's our health, whether it's a community, whether it's a difference, whether it's trying to create an additional stream of income, or just making our family healthier and more aware. At the same time, we're doing that together, and we have the compounded efforts of everybody's talents, everybody's abilities coming in. I'm so impressed with the people that we have here at Galvan, here on the corporate side that are making things happen, and then all of you that are out in the field. So let's hop into this today. And we love to always have the tips and the updates and the training from Dr. Sharp. And I can stare at him right here. I'm going to stare at him right here too. But Adam, thanks for being here today, and we appreciate you.
A friend of mine came and asked me the other day, said, "Do you believe in peptides?" And I sat there and I thought, I'm not sure he knows what peptides are if he's asking someone if they believe in them. I think they're an indisputable fact that there are peptides, and we're going to talk a little bit about why people are talking about them and what they are. So today, hopefully everyone will leave understanding a little bit what a peptide is and why you may care and why it's important. So first, I like this quote. This was from Dr. I'm not even sure how you say his last name, but knowledge is the best vaccine. He helped to eradicate smallpox. And so knowledge is the best vaccine against disease. And so hopefully today you'll leave with a little bit more knowledge about what peptides are and how they help us. So in short, peptides are a brief chain of amino acids. I think people have heard of amino acids. They're the building blocks of proteins. And so our body uses a variety of different peptides to send signals between our cells and to regulate our normal, healthy bodily functions. As it mentions here, you can really think about peptides as messenger molecules that help your body in a variety of ways, from immune defense to digestion to healing to growth. And they certainly occur naturally and are required for us to live healthy or live at all. But new advances, there are a variety of different synthetically made peptides, and that's usually what people are referring to, but there are many of them. And so it's important to understand that a peptide is just the building blocks of proteins. It's a small chain of amino acids. And now there are medications that help to mimic some of those that our body makes. So a few peptide examples. I think most of you have heard of insulin. Insulin is a hormone that's absolutely essential for us to be able to live and regulate our blood glucose. And so if you're a type 1 diabetic, your body stops being able to produce insulin. And so you need to actually be given insulin and take medications in order to actually live. Our brain lives off of glucose, and we have to have regulated blood glucose levels in order to live. The most common, this GLP-1, a receptor agonist. So this is a new medication type, and there's a variety of ways that this happens. There's different medications that do this, but you'll hear the term GLP-1. This mimics a natural peptide, and what it does is it helps to control blood sugar and has a variety of things that help. So it was the FDA approved it to be used for diabetes treatment, in particular patients that have type 2 diabetes, and they found that it actually helps in weight management. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is an FDA approved and regulated medication, actually very commonly used. And then there's others. There's this BPC 157, the body protective compound. This is again a synthetic peptide. And it has a variety of things that you'll hear often in the wellness industry, that it may help with tissue repair or joint health or inflammation control. This is actually not FDA approved. So it's one of those that might have a lot of really helpful things that it can do, is a little bit less regulated, and some of the data is still out there. So unknown all the potential benefits or risks with the BPC 157, which is also a peptide treatment. And there are a variety of others. These are just 3 examples. So I want to talk a little bit about the GLP-1 medications. These are, as I said, they're estimated that there's a global survey that 8 to 10% of Americans are currently on GLP-1s. More of those have actually tried them, and then there's 30 to 35% of people that would like to be on them. It is interesting to know that more than a third of the people that are taking these medications are actually using them off-label for things that they were not initially designed to treat. And that typically is just primarily for weight loss. So people who may not have diabetes, may not have higher cardiovascular risks, and they just know that they want to lose weight. We'll talk a little bit about why that might be a more risky strategy for people, but that's, again, a lot of people are doing that. Also, just to note, in 2023, and so my guess is, again, this is close to $100 billion industry. So a lot of money gets pumped into these medications. And I'll talk a little bit more about some of the risks and benefits of these as we know them. So benefits, weight loss. Many of us have a few extra pounds that we would like to lose. And so this is a very effective weight loss treatment. And that is a clear benefit. As I mentioned before, it also, in a variety of different mechanisms, can help with blood glucose control. And so people with type 2 diabetes, that's what it was approved for. And it can help, not only does it help you lowers your appetite, and so you don't eat as much, you feel fuller on the medicines when you are eating. And so there's a variety of different ways that it helps to control your blood sugar. There's known cardiovascular benefits. So it's been shown to decrease potential stroke and as well as heart attacks. And so people that are at high risk of those things, we know that weight as well as blood sugar control is part of that, but they even believe that there's other mechanisms that help to prevent from having stroke and heart attack, which is great. And then people with kidney disease, it helps to protect their kidneys. So all really great benefits. Now here's the issues. 40 to 60% of people have GI issues. So whether that's nausea and vomiting or diarrhea, symptoms nobody wants, can cause gallbladder disease, and rarely can cause pancreatitis. There's some rat models that have people worried about thyroid tumors, which nobody wants a thyroid tumor. More very direct, caveats is if you're not taking this for diabetes or some of the cardiovascular benefits, it can be expensive. It's $1,000 a month. The other thing is as with any new medication, long-term safety is unknown. And so that's true of any new medication, but we're not sure what the long-term issues are with this particular medication. And then more commonly is rebound weight gain. So again, if you take these and you have GI symptoms that you don't like and you stop taking the medication, more often than not, you'll gain back much of the weight that you may have lost. And so if you start on these, in order to continue to have the effects, you may require lifelong use. And again, depending on who you are and depending on what the benefits may be and your other medical problems, Those are risks and benefits that, I will always say, everything that we ingest, everything comes with a risk and benefit. And so it's just important to know these. These are not good or bad medications. It's not the right way to think about any medications. They have a lot of really great benefits for some people. And for others, if you take it for the wrong reason, may have far greater risks than benefit. So there's your brief summary on peptides. They are the building blocks of protein, and they are essential to us living. So hopefully none of you will ask if someone believes in peptides, whether they believe or not, they exist, and they're essential for life. There are a variety of new medications that are coming out that can optimize our health if we use them. And if we use them appropriately, they have their risks and benefits. There is no magic bullet. You should still, again, do all the things that you know to do. You need sleep, you need exercise, you need good nutrition, regardless of whether or not you're taking these medications. And in general, the people who benefit most from GLP-1s are people with obesity, type 2 diabetes, and high cardiovascular risk. They're the ones that receive the great benefits, and the risks may be far lower. And it's not recommended that this is a first-line treatment just for cosmetic weight loss. So I hope that is helpful. I left this quote. I think, take care of your body. It's the only place that we have to live. And so one more piece of information so that we can galvanize the world to heal humanity. So go educate the people you love. Tell them about what a peptide is and how we can use it to our advantage. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Robert the Beloved to give you a product update on G+. Have a good week.
Good afternoon. Glad to be with you today. I hope all of you are doing well. If you've got your phone handy, let's jump into G+, and let's take a little tour. If you can see mine, at the very top of the screen, what you see is a public service announcement saying today's wellness check. It's reminding me right off the bat that I haven't done my wellness check today. So if you notice that at the top, that just gives you a reminder to go there. One of the things, if you start scrolling down, that we've released recently is quote of the day. You can see that we are now putting on your homepage a quote. So you can see one from Henry David Thoreau on mine. Everyone's will be different because they're random. This one says, the question is not what you look at, but what you see. That's very appropriate for a demo. So yeah, let's ensure that we can see what we're looking at. That's great. You'll notice a couple things on this quote of the day. In the top right, there's a plus sign. The plus sign says, do I want to save this to my personal quotes? And so you can click on the plus sign and it'll automatically add it into your log of personal quotes. And you'll notice also at the bottom right, there's a little G. The little G suggests that this was one that the Galvan team has put together for you. Now, as you continue to add your quotes, you'll see some with a G and some without. So it'll start putting out your quotes as well. If you actually just click on the quote of the day, we take you to show the last 3 days of quotes. So I can see today's quotes, I can see Monday's quotes, and I can see Sunday's quote, just in case you've missed one perchance. And you'll notice that today's quote, like Sunday's quotes, got a little G. So that came from the Galvan reservoir of quotes. And then the middle one, the Monday one, it looks like one that I have added in there. So we've got the quote of the day, and we'll give you a little bit of history. The other thing you can do, if you look at your hamburger menu down in the bottom right with the teal circle, if I click on that, I can go into my quotes. And then there, I can just start seeing my whole library of quotes. And so I can just scroll through those and I can see. So for instance, this one I added in April 23rd, Achievement, Never Mistake Activity for Achievement by John Wooden. And you can go through and then I can see the ones with the little G that I've saved from the Galvan side and the ones that I've added. The question then being, oh, actually at the bottom, there's a little search. So that if you've got a word from your quote and you're just trying to find the right quote, you can quickly find it with the search. And then if you'd like to add, you can see again in the bottom right, there's a little plus sign. You can click on that and hit add new. And then as easy as putting in your title, the quote itself, and the source you got it from, you can save it, and then that adds it right into your quote library. Just kind of a fun, inspiring way to kick off your day. It's probably not a bad idea before you do your wellness check to read a positive quote and get you in the mood for your wellness check. Anyway, that was just a quick tip of the day. I hope you're enjoying your G Plus, and it is giving you some good information as you take ownership of your health. With that, we will turn it now over to Casey. Casey, over to you.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the swap entry and then follow up with what you can do with some of that eyes. So once you're logged into your account, if you just go over to your wallet, you can swap the Ethereum, USDC, or USDT. So for this example, we're going to pull up the Ethereum, and you're just going to do that swap. Right here, I'm going to switch this, so I'm typing in US dollars because it's a little bit easier. But if I wanted to swap the $10 here, and then I'm going to choose eyes that I want to purchase, it's going to give me a quote here in just a second. And then you just need to put in your wallet passcode and hit confirm. Keep in mind, if you're wanting to be entered to win the in the drawing, you do have to send us your transaction hash. I've had some people that have emailed and said, hey, I completed my swap, but we need that transaction hash in order for you to be entered into the drawing, which we have a winner for later this afternoon or later on this call. Byron's going to do a drawing. So you'll just let this go through, and then it's going to pop up right here. This is that transaction hash. So you can copy it here and then email that to support. You'll have a little widget down here that will be on your screen. If that widget is gone, just click this support button, and then you can click submit a request. And right here, I'm going to type in my email address, and I'm going to say swap entry. And this is all you've got to do. You don't even have to include other information. From that transaction hash, I will be able to confirm that you did everything correct and you swapped that eyes. And then that you're going to get an email from us saying you've been entered. If you have any questions on that, you can add any notes to that. You can submit another request. Then the fun part is right here, I want to spend my eyes. So I'm going to search for that. There's an FAQ about that. Where can I spend my eyes? And it's going to have a link to the Well Collective, also to our Galvan shopping cart. You can convert your eyes rewards into the eyes ERC20 tokens with this link. You can earn more eyes with the G Plus app. So definitely a lot of information there. So that's it for me. And I'm going to turn it back over to Byron.
Hey, thanks so much, Case. Appreciate that. Good information to know and to be able to share and know where to go get that information, because these are things that come up again and again. And one of the things that you're going to learn, as I'm sure you're already doing it, there's not very many questions that we get. We're going to get similar ones again and again and again. So as being a leader, it's really important that as we go through some of these things, that you take the time and go experience it yourself and do that. Whether it's the things that Robert's talking about in the app and the quotes and the different things that way, or Casey's talking about customer service scenarios, it's so much easier if we can just answer that for people. Not that we're wanting to become customer service, but we need to know. So I just challenge everybody to go and take the time to go through it themselves so they can understand, and being able to take this information that Dr. Sharp talked about today on the different peptides. I mean, you're going to hear about it more and more if you haven't already. So I think that's really great to have that clarification and understanding of what they really are. And all of this information, as we know, is so important. But what I want to talk about today is, I know sometimes we just feel like, okay, this is exciting, but I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to share this with somebody. I don't even know what to do. And what I want to do is I want to just talk about 3 questions and a statement. 3 questions and a statement that you can use that is basically going to help set the stage for you to help somebody, because that's what we're doing. I know some people say, well, I'm not into sales, and I'm going to say, well, this is, serving, not selling. But at the same time, you are, because when you were a baby, you were selling your mom that you were hungry or that you were tired, right? We've been doing it our whole lives. So if we believe in something, it's so important to be able to get that information out there. But how do we do it? So I'm gonna share these couple of questions with you, and this is something that you can use to open the door, to set the stage. And we've talked about being able to break the ice with just sending ice tokens, right? Just being able to give people and get them to have a free wallet, especially if they don't know anything about crypto, get them a free wallet, get them some token, but it's always about what's in it for them. You've got to have some emotion. You need to know why somebody is doing something. The why will always be bigger than the how or the what, but the why or the purpose. And so I'm going to pull this up real quick. And as we see this, second, you can write these down. We'll put them in the chat here later too, or out there, but I'm going to share my screen. But here's something that you can do. Okay. So what is first off important to you, and what do you think is going to be important to the person that you're talking to? And because that's what we're wanting to do. The audience, I mean, if we're going to talk to somebody about something that's not relevant to them, obviously they're not going to have any interest. But one of the things that I want to find out is what's important to them. If they have children, if they're interested in health, I'm going to ask a question like, hey, the first question is just this, do you personally, or do you know anybody that sometimes deals with anxiety, that has concerns with depression? Do you know anybody that wants to have more energy? Do you know anybody that would be interested in being rewarded for doing the things that they should be doing anyway? Healthy actions. You want to put a question out there. Do you know anyone with or who? And if you do that, someone's going to come to mind. Most likely it's going to be them. Hey, yeah, no, I think we all kind of go up and down, right? We all have days where we feel good and days that we don't. Yeah, that's pretty normal. And so if you ask that question, once again, now we're making it about them. So do you personally, or do you know anybody who's dealing with whatever? And then the second question you're going to ask, it's just a little bit more information on that. How often has that been a problem? You're like, yeah, I've got one of my teenagers. They're just having a hard time with life right now. I'm really worried about them. Okay. And how often is that a problem? Well, maybe once or twice a week. They seem to be pretty down, or whatever it is. And then the next question is, what have you tried to do, or what are they currently doing to help with the situation? Well, obviously we try to give them attention, get them with their friends, or if that's the scenario, or if it's, if somebody's trying to become healthier, or somebody's trying to lose weight, or any of these questions you ask, what have you tried to do to improve the situation? Okay. So now we're once again, we're there to try to help. Do you know anyone who? How long has it been a problem, and what have you tried to do to fix it? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to it's 3 questions in a statement. And the statement is, I'm asking because I'm working with a product. If there's a product with a company that can help, we have this app. And what this app can do is it can let people know, and even let you know if you want, how they're doing, and give them ways that they can improve the situation. It can give them rewards for going out there and doing the same thing and making things better. So if they need to do something to get in a better mood or have more energy, it's going to coach them on doing it. And the fact that they're monitoring it, we're going to reward them. Okay. And then the next thing is really, if I would you. Okay. If I sent you a little video over, explain a little bit more about it, would you watch it? See, so many times we make it too difficult. I mean, what did I go into? Did I go into all the ingredients about a product in the Well Collective? Did I talk about every single feature in the G Plus app? Did I do any of that? No, I didn't do any of those things. I'm talking about what is the problem and what is a possible solution. Because to be honest, I've been doing this a long time, working with a lot of different nutritional products and stuff. I don't think people care about the ingredients as much as they care about the result. I can give them a stack of all these clinical studies, which is great to be able to back that up. But if they see an improvement in their child, that's what they care about. This is what's working for my kid. This is what's worked for. That's what matters more than a clinical study. If I have all these clinical studies and it's not working for their child, do you think they care about the clinical studies? They don't. And so it's good to have all that information, but it's so important. What is it? What's in it for me? What is the difference that it's making out there? And, the company even pays to share. So if you get this app and it's benefiting, you can share it with other people and they're going to get it. If you get this product in the Well Collective and it's benefiting, and what do we typically want to do when we have something that helps? We want to share it. What happens when you go to a good movie? What happens when you go to a good restaurant? If it's something good, we want to share it. And if we got a company and a community here that is not only going to bless people's lives, but if it's really that good, we're going to help you to help get it out to other people and reward you, not for just doing it yourself, but for blessing other people's lives as well. That's pretty powerful. And that's pretty amazing. And really all we have to do is simply invite for people to look at something. Okay. And we can change people's lives. You'll never know. Like I said, I used to travel 110, 120 days a year. I was traveling all the time. And everywhere I went, when we were doing big meetings, somebody would come up to me. And whether it was a product or whatever that blessed them, a family member, I can't even count how many times somebody's come up to me with tears in their eyes, grateful that they got their hands on something, they found out about something. What if somebody wouldn't have opened their mouth and said something? What if? I mean, that's why we can't keep this stuff to ourselves. It's so important. I mean, we see the statistics. We see that more and more people are dealing with life, and there's more stress and anxiety and depression and worry in today's world. And when we have something that not only can help make that known, but give possible solutions, I mean, it's pretty amazing and pretty powerful. So let's go out there and simply invite. Okay? And whether it's a product in the Well Collective, whether it's somebody that's trying to become healthier, whether it's somebody that wants more energy, whether it's somebody that is interested in their stress or their mood, or any of those things, you can insert any of that into that first question that I just shared. Okay, because this company is more than just a company. It's a community of people making a real difference, sharing and changing people's lives one person at a time. So let's go out there and utilize this. Let's go out there and simply invite, because nothing is going to happen unless we do it. It's not going to just magically happen. But the beautiful thing is, a lot of things and a lot of people working together has always been what's changed the world. And that's what we're going to be able to do together. So let's take that challenge and go out there and let's invite this week, whether it's giving away the wallets that we've talked about to break the ice, whether it's asking these 3 simple questions and then a statement. Let's go out there and get this information. Let's not have it be where somebody didn't know because we made a decision for them. We were too nervous to share it, and so they didn't know, and it might not even be them. A lot of times we do not know what somebody's going through, what they're dealing with. People are really good at hiding it. And all they need to know sometimes is just to feel that there's something that can benefit them, feel that they're heard, feel that they're part of something. And I love that that's what we're all about. So these actions compound in a positive effect. And as we kind of wrap things up today for the call, we have a winner. Okay. What we've been doing is, you can see when you log into your Galvan account, you get to have a chance to swap. And as Casey shared and trained on, we had some people do it this last week. Now, what we do after you've submitted that, like she did, it's all based on what you swapped. And I love that. We're not saying we're just going to give you 1,000 tokens no matter what. No, we're going to match whatever you did, whether it's a larger amount or a smaller amount. So here's, I think I got here from 1 to 24. Okay. And we're going to see who the winner is today. I'm going to push generate. Boom. 13. Lucky number 13. Who is that?
Connect, Give, Share is the name on that account. I will send them an email and some tokens right now.
Connect, give, share, whatever you swapped, it's just been doubled. Okay, so congratulations. Now pay attention. Hopefully you're logging in to your account to make sure, 1, that your node is connected. 2, you're seeing that your rewards are coming. And there's additional things that are going to be added and continually added to the account and to the wallet that we're excited to be able to share here shortly, as well as all the things that we're doing for the future of the rest of this year. There's big things that are continuing to come and happen. And every single thing that I love about what we're doing here, it's because it's going to affect somebody in a positive way. Okay, so let's go out there and be a difference. The thing that we're doing here is we're not just making a difference, but you yourself can be the difference in someone's life. So let's go out there and be the difference, everybody. I'm Byron Belka. On behalf of everyone here, we're Galvanators. Have a great day. Take care. We'll see you.